Hello. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Y'all look so good. I mean, everybody turned out, on their game, and I appreciate that. You know, everybody looks good, and you look happy and healthy, and you got love in your heart and on your face, and you brought it here to my mother, and I appreciate that. So, I'm supposed to sit up here and tell a little story or something, or my best story, or whatever. I have so many. Might not be the best ones, but. But you know what I was noticing though? I was checking everybody out, walking around looking all clean. And I just happened to look down at my shoes and saw how long they are. And I was like, man, I really look crazy with these long shoes. I thought it was cool when I bought them. I was copying off PJ. But PJ looked taller. So his shoes can, okay, now. All right. What I remember, what I love about my mother, something a lot of people might not know, is that she's a very virtuous woman. And that means a woman of God who really stands by her morals and her beliefs, trustworthy, anything positive, and anything that has anything to do with fighting for your family, to make it the best in your life and to have a wonderful life. That's my mother, a virtuous woman. And I'm gonna tell y'all how we got to Portsmouth. Because my mother's not from Portsmouth, she's from North Carolina. A lot of people don't know because she got that little swagger now. So the North Carolina swag done dropped off. She done got the P-Town swag. But she still got a class though. But you know, my mother came from a family that was pretty much okay. She could have stayed. She could have raised us in North Carolina, but that wasn't her desire. She didn't want to stay on her parents with her kids. And she wanted to make a way for her own and her own family. So that's how she ended up with her mother's brother, Uncle Marvin. He was in Portsmouth, and he had owned some apartments and an oil company and all that. And my mom came down and stayed in an apartment. We stayed in apartments. And that was probably about the only time I would say we was probably in the ghetto. Now, Uncle Marvin Apartments was good, don't get me wrong. But we was downtown. Nah, it was the ghetto. Look, I mean, I know you were doing your best, don't get me wrong. It was great. No, I'm just talking about the rules. This is how you know you're in the ghetto. Our apartment didn't look like the ghetto. Our clothes didn't look like the ghetto. But the rules looked like the ghetto. It used to be a light outside our window. We stayed on the second floor in the ghetto. I ain't stop. The ghetto was across the street. We weren't in the ghetto for real. I just joked. But it was close. Look, it was a light outside. And we used to always hear, pow, pow, pow. And I ain't never really know what it was until Pastor told me, Rod, my brother. And then Mom told us. And then she gave us the rules. Look, when you hear that, hit the deck. Duck. Get on the floor, stay away from the windows, and we gonna ride this thing out until you don't hear it no more. And it was just different rules that don't open the door after a certain time. It was just crazy rules. And I still didn't know I was in the ghetto. Well, it's not the ghetto. I'm gonna stop saying the ghetto because that made Mom seem like Mom did her best for us. Don't get that twisted. I'm just saying the ghetto is a funny hook. Maybe I shouldn't use that with my mom. But we're gonna call it the hood. So what she did was, getting back to on a serious note, she did everything she could to stand by her kids and to raise her family. And she done been through trials and tribulations and all of that. And, you know, she never gave in. She worked 2 jobs. Sometimes we had this hot dog place. I don't know if y'all remember the hot dog place on Deep Creek, I believe it was. I think the hot dog was a quarter or something, or 50 cents. Well, we ate a lot of hot dogs. And we was excited about those hot dogs too. When we saw that box on the table, well, how many we get? But it was fun, and you know, we learned a lot, and then we moved on up. Like the Jeffersons. We moved to the manor, capital manor, with manicured lawns, driveways, and guess what? A backyard. We was up there then. Everybody had their own room. Well, me and Rod, well, when you gotta share with your brother or sister, that's still your own room to me. You know, Rod was cool. And we was having the time of our life. And then we saw Mom kick into third gear when you saw her really doing her thing. She put us into sports, and she was there every game. The loudest one there too. Come on, Rodrick, get that ball. Come on, Pat, strike him out. You better catch that ball. And I heard that over there like, me and Rod like, that's Mom. Hilton, good home run. Way to hit that ball, Hilton. And then after the games, she would take everybody to Pizza Hut. She would bring everybody Gatorade, water. She would do everything for everybody. Even back on the block, the whole neighborhood was our family, was our brothers and sisters. Because that big station wagon they talked about, it was full. Yeah. On the Kings Dominion, Busch Gardens, out of town, North Carolina, that was our favorite. That's when you know Mom she was relieved of the hood. Where she was going back home. That was a trip to take, to go back home. So to see her here, 80 years old, 80 years old, this young, beautiful, pretty-eyed woman, and she's still sitting here, as beautiful as ever. I have always and I just wanted to tell y'all that little story, because to me, that was kind of funny, because the whole time, there won't nobody, some drunk shooting at a light pole outside. We thinking it's a drive-by. Duck, fall on the ground. Where's Rod? Rod's back there. Jamie, go get him. People ain't even thinking about that. We in the crib, just. But she had rules. And she was protecting us. And we got out of there. And we had the time of our life. Every Christmas was a Christmas. When she said it wasn't going to be. Every birthday was a birthday. When she said it wasn't going to be. So for that, that's my virtuous mother. And I would like to dance this one time with you while I have you here. Would you dance with me, Mom?